When I first started telling people about my plans to kayak over Niagara Falls, some shared my vision. I grew up in Mexico City. I'm actually a city boy. Ever since I was young, I was, part of the big mob of Mexico City, and I skateboarded a ton when I was a kid. I, played basketball, soccer, and then eventually I had the opportunity to go to eastern Mexico and start rafting on the rivers. And then eventually, when I turned 14, my parents gave me a kayak for a birthday present. And, life changed for me, and I became eventually a professional kayaker. Probably one of the most scary decisions I've made in my life. It is the one chance, I think, that a kayaker has at this point of time to make history. I had a relationship with my dad when I was young that, he was my dad, but he was also my best friend, and I was an adolescent. And the thing about it is that we would drive every Friday to Veracruz, and it's about a 5-hour drive. So that would mean that we were like stuck together in a car, chatting about life for 5 hours, and, and we became like best friends. I started paddling with my dad, and that's kind of the first 3 or 4 full years of my kayaking career. It was, 14-year-old Rafa with his dad. Instead of going to the parties every Friday and Saturday night in Mexico City with my friends, finishing school on Friday and tying kayaks on the roof and going to the river every weekend. I started 14 with like a crazy fast learning curve. My dad started 48, and it took him so long. I mean, we've been paddling for the same amount of time, 15 years. And, I can do a lot of stuff that, my dad is still working on. Is like almost like some of his intermediate skills, let's say.